So it's May 1st when I'm recording this. And as you can see, I'm home. This is backyard, porch, blah, blah, blah. And we got a ton of stuff going on. So let's get right to it. So kicking off the month on Tuesday and Wednesday, which would be the 3rd and the 4th, I believe, we're going to actually be downtown at a conference, the AmCon Advanced Design and Manufacturing Show at the Convention Center. We're going to have a booth there, Simplex-IT, and we'll be talking to manufacturing companies about ways that they can bring additional value to their organization through better IT. Yay! If that ain't exciting, I don't know what is. Maybe I do. We're also going to be doing a free seminar there from, I think, 12:45 to 1:45 on Tuesday. That's really going to be talking about why cybersecurity is not a waste of time. And a lot of organizations have trouble with that concept. We're going to make it easy, and this is not going to be, down in the deep geek stuff. We're going to be talking about this from a business perspective. So make sure you check that out. Website here for more information. Yeah. We're going to be following that up on May 17th, where we're going to be talking on a webinar, myself along with Adam, our security czar, and we're going to be talking about cyber insurance requirements. A lot of you are either trying to get cyber insurance for the first time, or you're at renewal point, and all of a sudden they're saying you have to do all these things. Why are they doing that? It's insurance. They want to minimize the probability of them having to pay out. Duh. So we're going to talk about that. And again, we're not going to go deep into the geek speak. We're going to talk about it from a business perspective and some of the easy ways you can do things and some of the hard ways you can. Check that out. Website. We're also one of the sponsors for a great group, Manufacturing Works, and they're having their annual meeting, dinner and the like, on May 25th, which we'll be part of. And they're really doing an interesting concept. They're actually trying to work with a lot of the schools in the area that have people on track. I'll say kids, but you're all kids to me nowadays, who want to possibly get into the manufacturing field in some way, shape, or form. So it's going to be a combination of manufacturing companies, manufacturing work members, being able to have booths to talk to these potential kids and the kids coming out. Not a trade show, but really a let's learn from and about each other. I love the concept. I love it when people come up with new ways to try to get ideas and concepts across to each other. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But we're going to be part of that because we are one of the sponsors for all of the networking events for Manufacturing Work. So cool. And speaking of us sharing knowledge and the like, I think I did. I'm also going to be part of the MSP Ignite Roundtable, which is put on by one of our main partner, Datto, talking specifically about co-managed IT opportunities and for managed service providers such as Simplex-IT, how to build that kind of practice for their organization. I will be speaking there. It's going to be on Friday the 13th. What could possibly go wrong? Okay, and then on May 19th, I'm actually going to be live in person down in Miami, Florida, talking to folks at a free luncheon to learn about, amongst other things, co-managed IT services and how MSPs can develop that program. You detect a trend here? Many of you have probably seen the news about two of the biggest players in the industry, Datto and Kaseya. Well, essentially, Kaseya purchasing Datto. Datto was a privately held company and then went public for a bit, and now is going private, being purchased by Kaseya. To say that the industry, the MSP industry, reacted poorly to this news is an understatement. Honestly, Kaseya has a very poor reputation. Some of it's deserved, some of it's probably a little over the top, of being the bad guys, of essentially just creating poor relationships with their clients and the like, and also acquiring a lot of companies and worrying much more about the money than the product, and most important, the relationship. Datto, on the other hand, has a great reputation of being the good guys in the managed service industry and creating the relationships that are great and long-standing and the like. And honestly, in both cases, those are probably overstated. Datto isn't as pure and wonderful and great, and they're one of our favorite, if not our favorite partners, one of our favorite partners, but there's always chinks in the armor. Similarly, on Kaseya's standpoint, there's absolutely no question whatsoever. Kaseya is in it for the money. They're in it for the contracts. and they're in it for the long term. By the same token, they've purchased a lot of clients, or a lot of companies, excuse me, and vendors in the industry, and many of them are probably still in business because they were purchased. So it's going to be something that, first of all, it has to be finalized, which will be probably Q4 of this year. And then it'll probably take another 6 months or so before we really see what the differences are. Now, of course, CEOs from both companies are saying nothing's going to change. Bull on that. But it's probably not going to be as bad as a lot of folks are saying it's going to be. And honestly, I'm not going to overreact to it. We're going to keep our eyes open as we always do. And we're going to make sure that we have our options as far as alternative products and the like. But quite honestly, we always do that anyway. So. Finally, I want to add with a couple of things about stuff that you're going to start seeing from us. Early this year, and actually we started with this last year, but early this year we added 2 new faces, Cassie and Drew, to both handle the social media aspect to get us a lot more organized and a lot more focused on our social media messaging, and for us to really ramp up the quality and quantity of a lot of our video content. And we're starting to throw out some of the videos. You're going to start seeing a lot more. And unlike the videos that I've been doing for a long time on LinkedIn, and will continue to do some of them, those we just kind of threw out there with not random thoughts or the like, but quite honestly, we were more concerned about the cadence and all of that. Now we're going to get much more focused on what's the content, of what's the delivery of the content. I think you're going to be impressed. I think you're going to be pleased. And the real bottom line is we're going to continue our goal of educating everybody we possibly can. You just heard me talking about, I'm going to be out talking to my competitors about how they can improve their product mix. One of the last things I want to talk about is our messaging. And you may have seen a couple of videos recently and heard about some of the new faces we brought on board. And notice that there's a slight change in the air, and that's no accident. We made the decision Q4 of last year to really double down on our marketing message. And for those of you who've known us for a while, we've always been out there with how can we help? How can we share our knowledge, our experience, our information in such a way that we're not trying to sell you, we're not trying to get business from you, but we are trying to build a relationship. You just heard me earlier talking several instances about how I'm going to go out and I'm going to talk to my competitors, and I'm going to try to help them develop programs that are in direct competition with me. And I do that freely because I think that's the best way for us to build a brand, and us as an industry to help everybody. There's more than enough business out there for all of us. And you're going to see a lot more of this. That's why we've done videos, and they haven't been released yet. But what is an MSP? What are the 6 factors that you should use to choose a great MSP? Why is multi-factor authentication so important? Pieces on cybersecurity, co-managed IT. You're going to see a lot of these, and these are actually pretty well done and directed videos, unlike the stuff you're watching right now, because I just do this one. And we would love to hear feedback. We would love to hear what messages, what questions would you like us to answer? And honestly, if you want to steal what we're doing, steal. If you want to copy what we're doing, and we see this, quite honestly, MSPs are using some of our catchphrases. MSPs are using some of our messaging. Go for it. Absolutely. What can we do to help? We're all in this together. Let's have some fun doing it. So, check out our new YouTube channel right here. So here's the problem. We just started off this new channel, so we don't have 100 subscribers yet. Without 100 subscribers, YouTube won't let us actually have a name that means sense. So here's the actual channel name. It's in the newsletter itself, by the way. But if you could, please go take a look and subscribe to our channel so that we can get rid of gibberish like this.
Thank you. Back to our show, whoever that handsome guy is.
Take some of that messaging concept, even if you're not an MSP, and especially if you're not an MSP. How can you create and improve your message to your clients and your potential clients that creates that better level of trust? Because one of the things that I've been really focusing on lately in the brain is that concept of value. And both from a personal, professional, all layers, it suddenly dawned on me, we're really treating that word differently now. And I think that started in the past 6 months or so. Quite honestly, pre-pandemic, the word value was lip service. We bring value, we drive value. But now, are we bringing value? The actions that we take, the resources that we expend, is there value that's driven from that? And that value is interpreted by every stakeholder. Does the employee receive value out of working for you? If not, maybe they don't want to anymore. Do your clients receive value? Do you receive value from your clients? So let's make some value together and let's have some fun doing it.